Penny Eccles and welcome to my leadership tips. I've led teams large and small and I've learned plenty of lessons along the way which I'd like to share with you. Now, when we start to lead, I think it's important to define the characteristics we'd like to show as leaders. I learned this quite quickly because I found myself sometimes in situations where, despite being a confident individual, I would suddenly become very vulnerable and show characteristics that I didn't really want to be associated with, often when I felt backed into a corner. Now, I'm not saying that vulnerability is wrong, and I will talk about vulnerability in a different video, but this is about being the leadership self that you want to portray. Now, my actual day job, apart from being a leader, is being a marketer. And the way I taught myself to be the leader that I really wanted to be was to learn from the tips of repositioning and branding a product. And to highlight that, I'm going to show you two products. I'm filming this in the morning and I do promise I haven't used any of the wine. So here I have two bottles of wine. One is Masson Azé, hope I pronounced that properly, and one is Fruity White. Now I want you to just take a look at each bottle and I want you to tell me which bottle you think is the most expensive. It's not a trick question. The answer, of course, is this one. And even though you haven't tasted the wine, I'm sure you've used lots of visible clues to decide. Maybe you think that Fruity White doesn't really actually tell you that it's actually wine. The lime green might say something, it's a screw top, whereas this one, you know, nice aged look label, a dent in the bottom, a cork, and indeed, yes, this one was about £28 and this one was about £1.99. And the point of this is that when we look at products, we do make decisions about the quality of that product. And I started to think, well, actually, we do exactly the same thing with people and with leaders. And why do some leaders have a presence and others do not? So I decided to launch a personal project called Brand Penny. And I decided to write down all of the characteristics of Brand Penny. If I decided to switch her on in a certain situation, what characteristics would she show? What would she look like? How would she react if she felt backed into a corner? What words would she use? And I decided that she would have poise, that she'd pause, and that she'd dress for the occasion. If she was in an important meeting, she'd dress so that she felt good. And this totally transformed my approach to leadership and how I was received. So my invitation to you is to think of brand you. If you were about to reposition yourself, I want you to write down the characteristics that you would like to display as a leader going forward. I hope you enjoyed this tip and there'll be more to come, so please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.